This race was unbelievably intense, marking one of the darkest moments in F1 history. Let me take you through even more incredible races, like when a driver's small mistake caused his car to burst into flames, or the chaotic era when one driver's actions turned an entire race upside down. These are some of the most insane races you'll ever hear about. At the Macau Grand Prix in 2018, a well-known and tight street circuit race for Formula 3, there was a dramatic crash involving driver Sophia Flörsch. An upcoming Formula 3 racer, Sophia Flörsch, was in the middle of a great race when she had an accident. The crash occurred in a high-speed area of the circuit known as Lisboa Bend. She made contact with another vehicle and spun off the track. Her car plowed into the barriers and vaulted up, smashing through a photographer's bunker next to the circuit. It was a truly horrific crash, both spectacular and dangerous. Yet as serious as this incident was, the fact that Sophia Flörsch survived can only be described as a miracle. Despite sustaining multiple injuries, she was conscious and talking and made a full recovery after being treated. Now let's visit one of the craziest races ever, but first let's go back in time to the UK. It was quite a moment for Ralf Schumacher at the 2005 Monaco Grand Prix, a driver who could rightly claim to be talented. Ralf Schumacher was behind the wheel of a Williams during that race. He was running a decent race until he had an unfortunate accident. While navigating Monaco's tricky corners, his car slipped from his control. A file photo shows a Formula 1 car crashing during the Monaco F1 Grand Prix on May 23, 1999. This one happened at the notorious Saint Devote corner, which has claimed many victims. Ralf then crashed into one of the most notoriously close to the track barriers in Monaco. It was a pretty hard hit. The vehicle sustained heavy damage. Fortunately, Ralf emerged from the crash largely unscathed. In the 2021 Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps, despite signs for a red flag to be flown and the session postponed, action continued, contributing to a dramatic crash. With the circuit being one of high-speed corners and changeable weather, it is a favorite among many drivers. Norris crashed at the notorious Eau Rouge Raidillon complex during what was already a rain-soaked race. This part of the track is particularly challenging due to its fast uphill nature and elevation changes. As Norris approached this section, he had already been driving in the wet for half a lap, and the grip was decreasing. His car lost traction and he went off the track. Thankfully, Norris made it back uninjured.
It didn't stop him going for it, but what it did, it just sort of moved into a bit of an oversteer, and as he corrected it, suddenly the front tire bit.
The 2001 German Grand Prix at the Hockenheimring saw a pit fire leading to Jos Verstappen's near-fatal accident. There were difficulties for Jos Verstappen of the Arrows team when he decided to make a pit stop during the race. The fire, which started in the pits, was completely unanticipated. During refueling by his crew, a gasoline leak triggered the flames. A spark resulted from fuel touching hot surfaces on the car or objects inside the pit, causing a blaze. This resulted in flames and thick black smoke engulfing large sections of the pit area. Fortunately, Verstappen escaped unhurt after stepping out of his car. In the Super Tarimos final sessions, Sarmiento was racing when his car had a massive wreck, which also resulted in a fire, something no one wants to see happen on any racetrack. The car went up in flames, with images of the fire being both dramatic and terrifying. A combination of flammable liquids, fuel, and oil fed the fire, while its intense heat made the situation even more dangerous. Fortunately, Sarmiento was unharmed, and the quick actions of the track's safety teams and fire marshals extinguished the flames, preserving human life. Miraculously, Sarmiento climbed from the ashes of his car without serious injuries. A lighter moment featuring the underrated man of Formula 1, Johnny Herbert, had a big laugh in 2015 after trying out a hoverboard. Herbert, now a retired racer, was enjoying his life as a media personality. The hoverboard, a trendy gadget at the time, was part of a promotional appearance, and Herbert decided to give it a try. However, Herbert didn't know how to ride a hoverboard and quickly lost his footing, sliding off the machine. It was all caught on tape and quickly went viral. Herbert laughed it off in good humor, and the moment was largely accepted as a joke. He did not sustain any serious injuries and dismissed the incident with laughter, displaying his laid-back and fun personality. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for, the most unbelievable race in this video, which became one of the darkest moments in racing history. In the thrilling finale of the 1990 season, Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost were the top contenders for the championship title. Senna, representing McLaren, and Prost, driving for Ferrari, were locked in fierce competition. The race began with both drivers starting from the front row, with Senna taking pole position and Prost right next to him. As the race commenced, Senna surged ahead, taking the lead into the first corner, a challenging right-hander at Suzuka. Prost, who was in second place, closely followed him. However, as they approached the corner, a collision occurred when Prost tried to overtake Senna. This incident drew significant attention as many believed Senna's actions were intentional, aimed at removing Prost from the race and securing the championship for himself. The crash ended Prost's chances, while Senna continued on to claim victory and the championship title.
Prost has taken the advantage. Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's happened immediately. This is amazing. Senna goes off at the first.
In the 2007 Canadian Grand Prix, Robert Kubica was involved in a dramatic incident on lap 27 when he lost control of his car and crashed into the barriers at high speed. The crash caused extensive damage to the front of the car, with debris littering the track. Thankfully, Kubica came out of the ordeal with just minor injuries, proving how far safety measures in Formula One have come. During the 2024 Formula One Australian Grand Prix, George Russell experienced a dramatic crash on the race's final lap. Driving for Mercedes, he was in a heated contest for positions when he suddenly lost control of his vehicle. As he approached a high-speed corner, a mix of intense pressure and a potential loss of grip caused him to veer off the track and collide with the barriers. This incident was significant enough to trigger a full safety car deployment to clear the wreckage. Russell's crash not only ended his race but also had a ripple effect on the Grand Prix's outcome, affecting final standings and the championship race. Fortunately, Russell walked away unscathed.
Just simply didn't have the airflow.
During the 2022 Formula E race held in Rome, a significant crash took place at Turn 6, involving 8 cars. The chaos unfolded as drivers found it challenging to control their braking distances during a full-course yellow, resulting in collisions in the tight corner. This triggered a chain reaction, leading to a pileup of several vehicles, causing considerable damage and necessitating a race stoppage for debris removal and to ensure the safety of the driver. At the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix, a dramatic moment unfolded when Lewis Hamilton and Kimi Raikkonen collided at a chicane while vying for position. Hamilton's effort to pass Raikkonen led to contact, causing Raikkonen to spin out of control. In the chaos, he crashed into Nico Rosberg, who was close by. This incident resulted in considerable damage to all 3 vehicles and ended the races for both Raikkonen and Rosberg, prompting a safety car deployment to manage the wreckage. Thankfully, there were no major injuries.
Completely. And Rosberg too. Incredible.
During the 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo, Fernando Alonso experienced a terrifying crash on lap 33. As he neared the challenging Turn 3, he lost control of his car, which then collided with the barriers, resulting in a dramatic spin and a hard hit against the wall. The force of the impact was significant, leaving debris scattered all over the track. Fortunately, Alonso was quickly rescued from the wreckage and transported to the medical center, where he was found to have only minor injuries. But another Brazilian race left one driver with more than just physical injuries. Max Verstappen suffered some serious mental setbacks. He was poised to win the 2018 Brazilian Grand Prix, executing flawless overtakes, managing his tires well, and building a comfortable lead over his competitors. Victory seemed certain for Max. However, despite his efforts, Max ended up finishing in second place. He graciously thanked his rival, honoring a pre-race promise, but his reaction raised eyebrows for its intensity. What are your thoughts on this incident? Do you think Verstappen's reaction was justified?
What an idiot.
The most astonishing part of that Austrian race was what occurred during the restart. After a lengthy delay to clear the debris from the initial crash, everyone eagerly anticipated the race resuming. However, just as the race restarted, history repeated itself. Another crash unfolded. Nigel Mansell